Buenos dias, friends, and welcome to another adventure with Sarah. And today we are exploring some of the lost cities of Peru. We're going to be exploring an archaeological site today and exploring a part of the Andes, the markets, the colors, the sounds. It's a beautiful place, so come along with me for a great adventure. Andiamo! I'm here today with a local tour guide named Neil, who is going to take us on a wonderful tour of this archaeological site, and I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we are here in Ollantaytombo site, located in the town of Ollantaytombo, and we are approximately at 2,800 meters above sea level, and this is an amazing place with examples of architecture for agriculture, for administrative place, a religious place, and we are about to do this tour with a group with Sarah for about an hour and a half, and we'll learn a lot about it, and we'll definitely be amazed.
All right, so you got to help me say it though. I don't know how to say it.
It's called Ollantaytombo.
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 Ollantaytombo. In Peru, we're close to Cusco. So Peru is a fascinating destination because it's sort of like the ancient Greece of South America, isn't it? It's got all the ancient sites.
Peru is it's an amazing place, not only because of the diversity in flora, fauna, but also the cultural diversity. And it is definitely a must to come place in the world. And it has Ollantaytambo, Sacsayhuaman, Machu Picchu, and a lot of other pre-Inca sites all over the country. And you are very welcome to come and with adventures with Sarah.
Excellent. So let's go explore Ollantaytombo.
Ollantaytombo.
Ollantaytombo. We're going to go explore that together. So, vámonos?
Vámonos.
All right. Here in Ollantaytombo, we are learning a lot about Inca magic and religion and philosophical ideas, and especially about their agriculture. And our local guide just told us a wonderful story I wanted to share with you about the mountain just behind us. So the people here in this valley, there's actually 3 valleys, believed in a god called Wiracocha, who was the god of all things. But the god needed help. He couldn't do everything. So he created another god called Tunuba. And Tunuba is actually here with us. I'm looking right at him. So if you take a look into this cliffside, let's go in tight. Can you see a face? There's a face right there. Right? It's an old man with his long beard and his nose. And he's got a hump on his back, and he's kind of walking through the valley. Now, on his back, there's a building. In that building, they used to store something because Tunuba's role in the Inca religion was to be the one who would help with civilization, help to develop civilization. And the most important thing to develop civilization in this area was to develop agriculture. And in fact, the terrace I'm standing on right now would have been used to grow all kinds of things, quinoa, corn, all the different typical Inca varieties of crops. So what was Tunuba's role? His role was to bring the seeds and protect the seeds. So this ancient culture decided to build a sort of a god in the side of their mountain, and on his back was their granary, where they would store all the different kinds of seeds. You can see the slots there. That was also strategically important because you get a lot of wind. It's already windy here, and you could keep the seeds dry, keep them up above the floor of the valley where it could be wet and flooded. So Tunuba, this god here, it looks like he's strolling through the valley, protecting all of the agriculture and the crops from damage. So fantastic little piece of mythology from the Inca culture that was just given to us by our wonderful local guide. And here we go. We're going to continue on up.
Neil. So Neil, is this considered, are these hills or mountains?
These are mountains.
The Andean?
Some of you know that I was an architect in a past life, and one of the things I admire most about the architecture here is this. Ashlar masonry. This is masonry that has been cut and stacked perfectly and has no mortar. Although our guide just told us that they had a sort of mortar. It was sort of a paste they could put between the stones, which would melt the stones and make them perfect. So have a look at how wonderfully perfect the joints are. This kind of craftsmanship, I don't even think you find in the modern world. Look at that little curve there. And what's particularly amazing is that this stone comes from really, really far away. When you see the ashlar masonry like that, usually means it was a temple, because the other houses and things, as you can see up here, are just stacked stone. But all no mortar, just stacked sort of masonry, and those cut ones are just so beautiful. The craftsmanship is really amazing. The Incas were really something else. If you can imagine, these terraces behind me would have been thriving during the Inca times, and it all ended with the conquistadors in the 1500s, the mid-1500s. Their arrival heralded the end of the Incas, and unfortunately their numbers dwindled to the point where we don't really know enough, and there's no written language, so a lot of this stuff is just sort of guessing and archaeologists' work. So that's all for today from the ancient archaeological sites here in Peru. We're just outside of Cusco, and tomorrow we're heading to Machu Picchu, so more adventures ahead. We'll see you then. Vámonos!